Welcome to our March 28th, 2023 Code Enforcement Board hearing. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all must be sworn in to speak today. Okay. Thank you. You all may be seated. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to introduce everyone to begin with. To my far right is Justin. And then next to me is Terry. We have William. Myself is Chris. We're all volunteers. If anybody would like to volunteer up here, please let everyone know. And then, of course, our attorney for the board is Kimberly. So we would like to start. Let's go.
Thank you. Our first case, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. It's on page 8. It's a hearing to impose fines. Property address 513 Northeast 4th Street. Owner 515 Inc. Case number CE 2206-0092. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23. Posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 8/23/22 to comply by 11/22/22. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. City is requesting to City is requesting to vacate the order from 1/31/23.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city. Good morning.
Good morning.
There is a permit already applied for the fence. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Wait a second, your name and your relationship to the property.
Hello? Okay. Good morning. This is Roy Edwards with Toothaker on behalf of the property owner. Yes, since the violation was given, the property owner has applied for a fence permit that is currently in process and should be resolved in a couple of months or so. So for those reasons, we are requesting hold of the fines and a 50-day extension so the permit can be approved and the case can be complied.
City wouldn't oppose to a 53-day extension and stopping the fines.
I move for a 56-day extension.
53.
It says 56 on here.
56, okay.
Okay.
And hold the fines, please.
I need a motion. You need to hold the fines.
Pardon?
Hold the fines from one.
Okay, I move for a 56-day extension and hold the fine.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Got it. Need a ruling?
I move to vacate the previous
from
order
January 31st, 2023.
from January 31st of 2023.
That's new. That's new.
Everyone agree?
I agree.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next case is also on page 8, hearing to impose fines. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1327 Southwest First Ave. Owner CNC 123 LLC. Case number CE 1805-1535. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23. Posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 10/23/18 to comply by 1/22/19. Two sections at $50 per day. Order recorded. Complied. There are several extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. I'm gonna add, this case is in compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, board members. Courtney Crush on behalf of the property owner. This is a case that has been before this board before. It's an existing warehouse that had a mezzanine, which our client purchased and was using as a, sort of a man cave. He sort of inherited, upon inspection, a couple of cases of work without permit, and the process to both establish that he was allowed to sleep there and also go through two site plans, submitting them to the city, then the city determining that didn't need to happen, has taken quite some time, but he has worked diligently with 2 different architects, 2 different contractors, and finally is in compliance. And we very much would appreciate the board not imposing any fines. I mean, he's really worked over a 2.5-year period, following the direction that, each time the city asked him to either file a permit or file a site plan, and then reacting when that course changed.
City won't oppose to administrative cost.
Not opposed to.
Yes. 3,237.
64,000. Do I have a motion?
Okay, question, so why you debate, why do you want to see rid of the fines?
Red, there you go.
Sorry. So why do you want us to get rid of the fines and just administrative?
I know that they've been trying to work on this case. It wasn't easy for them. So,
Okay,
All right,
Go ahead, William.
I move,
Red,
I'm sorry, I thought I had it on. I move that we vacate the fine and the city charges for, are you recommending that city charges be exempt also?
no, just,
Okay, I move that we vacate the fine and impose the city expenses.
okay.
second.
all agree?
I second.
Aye.
Aye.
William, do you agree? I oppose. It's 3-1.
Thank you very much.
Our next case is on page 4. It's a new business case, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1715 Northeast 11th Street. Case number BE 22110027, owner Kristen Arbuthnot. Notice posted at the property on 3/7/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a new wood fence. City is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I pressed the button. Oh, and you let it go. Sorry. I'm Scott Baruta. I'm Kristen's actually husband, and they have the power of attorney on file for me. So when we got this violation, we attempted numerous times to call Officer Martinez. He never responded to any calls. I have call logs for all that. So what we did is we went down to the building department, what the code violation says to do, and we talked to the code compliance window, and they said, go check with the building department. So we went over to the building department. They said, here's what you need to do. We then provided the survey, we applied for a permit, it was approved, we had the inspection, the permit was then closed at the end of last week with inspections. When we purchased the property, we inherited this fence. So when they asked us what we did repair the fence. We did not know it was a new fence. Only yesterday, when we tried to make sure this was cleared up, Officer Martinez provided us with pictures from 2016. We did not own the property in 2016. We owned it in 2018, and that's why we inherited what we had. So when they asked us what we did at the building department, we did repair part of the fence. About $300 worth of work, we did it ourselves. So we had a permit. So essentially the permit says repair wood fence because that's what we were instructed to do. He wants it to say new wood fence. It's, as far as I understand, it's the same inspection process, which we've gotten new fences of other properties in this city here, and it was actually the same inspector that came out and did the inspection, took all the measurements, did everything he had to do, and it passed. So my first question is, can I have the code, issue dismissed for compliance with the permit that's been issued and now closed? The second thing is, if I can't get it dismissed, then we would request a 60-day extension, and I would like to know how we go about changing essentially an issued permit. So even on his advice yesterday morning, when he finally decided to pick up the phone, he said, go back to the city and tell them to change the permit from repair to new. So we went and got a copy in the records because it's already closed. They said they could not change the permit because it's already closed. So now we're getting into a whole nother bag of apples going to a building department that's not going to change something that's closed and something we've already done that obviously passed, and it's the same repair. Same inspection process. So I'd just like the code violation to be dismissed, and if it can't be dismissed, a 60-day extension.
Okay?
63 days or a fine of $50 per day.
No, that's not the answer. What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to
Oh,
go
obtain a new permit for the new fence.
apply for a new permit for the new fence?
Yes.
He's going to get his money back on the permit that he already pulled?
They obtain a repair permit.
Red?
Here's the permit closed with the inspection on the back from what we did. And we showed it because the building department said they're having an issue with your front fence. We put it all on the permit.
I'm guessing that he needs to start, the
They
inspector
just apply
needs to
for
start
a small
again.
section of the fence to repair the fence.
Section of the fence.
Yes.
We
But-
did that. We
but
did all of that. It's on the
The whole
permit.
fence, the front fence is new. Yes.
Again, you're talking about maybe 20 feet. Again, we repaired it. We inherited this, and we took some of the rotten boards and repaired them because they were never stained. We put new boards on there, stained the fence. It passed the permit.
Is the entire fence on the survey that was used to obtain the permit for the
Repair.
fence repair?
No, the repair, it's only for the small section in front of the door.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Because that's what
I'm
the building
asking if
department told
I'm
us to
asking
do.
that- no, I'm asking if the entire fence was on the survey
That he
when the
provided.
permit was pulled.
Yes,
The
it
repair
was.
permit.
Yes, it
Yep.
was.
Yes, but on the survey, they marked that the repair was only on the front part.
That's not what he's asking. He's
But the whole fence is there.
on the survey.
The back of the fence of the property, the fence is an old fence.
There's a
They
permit from
just put a new
1974.
fence
I
on
can't
front of the
determine what
property.
happened from 1974 to 2018.
Okay, I have a quick question. So we're seeing pictures here. When the house is pink, okay, there's a fence there. Is that the old fence?
Yes.
Because then they go to the gray house, which is, I guess, the same house, with a fence
In
on
the
the
front.
side of the house, and then there's something
In the
in
front.
front of the house. So what fence, which fence
Both.
are we talking about?
Both.
No, the one on the left is a new fence, but it's the old fence repaired.
No. The one on the
See how
left,
confusing this is?
The
I can't
design
get a
is
crazy-
different.
Hold on.
Okay.
So the fence on the left,
okay, the one that is pink
yes,
was replaced with a new fence.
okay, did they get a permit for that?
No,
They did not?
no.
Let me.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
it's pretty obvious from the pictures. For the record, Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. If you look at the pictures, the one previous to this one, you see a red, slightly stained fence
Right.
that's back on the side of the house. The subsequent pictures show a very lovely, modern, gray, wide slat fence that is now on the front of the house and also replaced that older fence. The gray fence, we all know, is not from 1974. They probably didn't even manufacture fences like with that modern aesthetic in the 70s. So it needs the new fence, and understanding that they didn't perhaps install it. We all know you buy the property, you buy the violation, you need a permit for a new fence for the gray fence that is there existing now.
Correct, but what does he do with the repair?
That's a
permit?
question for the building department, so we have the assistant building official here. Yeah, in terms of the conversion from a repair to a new, yeah, he's got to answer that,
I mean, Joe Pasquarello, assistant building official. I mean, the paperwork involved is the same. It's just the application needs to reflect that it's a new fence and that
Correct.
there's no repair, as far as what we're demonstrating, there's no repair involved. It's a new fence.
It's a new charge?
But it's the same fee. So we already paid the fee and had an inspection, which would be the same inspection for the permit that we applied for. I get it, we're talking semantics, but the end result is still the same.
Joe?
The application, again, reflects a repair. Inspector goes out there and he's going to address the scope of work that was on the application. He's not there to inspect the remainder of the fence. It's probably likely that when the inspector went out there, the rest of the fence was in compliance, but unfortunately, the application does not reflect the scope of work in which the violation was for.
So it's just a paperwork thing that he needs to do.
But,
And it
but
has to also go through zoning if it's a new fence.
Right.
But they
Where's-
refused him. They said he couldn't do it.
I'm sorry?
They refused him. They said he couldn't do it.
I would suggest he comes over, see to me, I'll meet with zoning, I'll meet
I have
with
a
we
him.
motion.
have zoning approval on that permit.
I have a motion.
We could,
It's a paperwork thing, it's gotta go back, it's gotta get cleaned up.
You gotta do the paperwork correctly, unfortunately.
Yeah, but when he doesn't call me back for 2 months, and I find out yesterday that he wants something different because he can't call me back, why is that my issue? Can you imagine how many other people this is happening to that don't have the knowledge that we have? So yesterday, I find out he wants something different, not after we go through the whole process. Yesterday.
Keeps going on. Sorry.
We can't address that, unfortunately. I hear you, but we
I
can't
hear you.
address it.
And now you've got the right person that's gonna walk you through it.
Yeah, see those gentlemen over there after, or have a conversation with them today and go from there. I have a motion. I move for a 56-day extension.
Second.
We all,
It wasn't brought as a new case,
Yeah,
was it?
it's a new business. So we have to give time and fine, of course.
Where the fines and.
Okay.
Wait. Am I being assessed a fine? Because we went and got a permit?
No.
Okay,
When you comply, it'll go away.
okay.
I move that we find for the city in a violation exists as alleged that we order the property owner to come into compliance by May 23rd, 2023, or a fine of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
but, no, it'll be fine.
It's,
It's paperwork.
we didn't write rules.
Can you explain to him, because I don't think he's understanding what you just.
Go down, see those gentlemen after the meeting.
But the
Yep.
ruling, the date frame.
You have 56 days to go and visit that guy and figure out what.
Right now. We went to go deal with
Well,
it
you
yesterday.
can't do it right now. You
It's
can't
gotta
do
go
it
through
right
the
now.
process.
But you'll have to go down to his office so that he can contact zoning and him, or his department and zoning department can figure out what it is that has to be done for you.
Yes.
What about the fees that we pay for?
Well, okay, well, that you'll have to discuss with them. It's not our call.
I get it, but if I follow what somebody else told me to do and we follow that.
He asked you to discuss it with him.
Somebody tells me, oh, that's not.
You'll have to go and discuss it with them no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay? Maybe they'll abate the fees. Maybe, hold up, sir. Maybe he'll come back before us and maybe we'll abate them. I don't know that, but you have to go through the process.
You have
Mr.
56
Pasquarello
days to
said
start.
to
That he'll
speak
meet
with him.
you. The assistant building official, he said he will meet with you. Our next case is on page 2. It's a new business case, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 2600 Northeast 8th Street. Owner Vida Verde LLC. Case number BE 2208-0159. Notice posted at the property on 3/6/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23.
Good morning, Talia Rickards on behalf of the homeowner.
Good morning, Building Inspector Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. Work without permit was done at this property consisted but not limited to a shed that was installed on the side yard of the property. Property was cited for work without permit under section 105.1 of the Florida Building Code 2020. This case was opened on August 16, 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on September 27, 2022. Final notice was mailed on November 7, 2022. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 6, 2023. City is asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Talia Rickards on behalf of the homeowner. The homeowner is building a garage where the shed is, and we already engaged a engineer, and we just need to pay and submit the permitting. So we just need a time to remove the shed at the same time we build the garage.
Okay, so as I said, you're removing the shed and building a garage.
Yes, and the owner would like an extension to go through the permitting process to build the garage, and then remove the shed at the same time.
And you know the process is you have to keep in contact with him at all times.
Yes, I have been speaking to him for the past
Do they need to do
3-4
anything
months.
before that point?
Come again?
Do they need to do anything? Do they need a permit to remove the shed, for example?
No, the shed was installed without permit, they can just.
So they can just remove it?
Yeah, but it seems like it would be more convenient for them to be ready to start construction on the garage and have a dumpster there to put the shed in and to avoid some extra cost. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind, I think they can do it within 56 days,
All
so
right.
that will work.
I have a motion.
Okay,
It's new business, correct?
Yes.
I move that we find for the city violations exist as alleged and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by May 23rd or fine $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
all agree?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 6. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1400 Southwest 18th Court, case number BE 2106-0093, owner Paula Jean and Richard M.K. Notice posted at the property on 2/23/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 2/22/22 to comply by 4/26/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are several extensions noted.
Good morning, Board. Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presented the case number as read. The case is not complying. The city is requesting the case shall be brought back as a MASI. I will let the respondent speak.
Hello, my name is Paula Emke. I'm the homeowner, and I am requesting an extension for 112 days as we had to have a soil test, which was done, and now the city came back and said that they need provide engineer's letter of inspection for concealed work. So we're in the process of getting an engineer to come out and do that. The gas permit was submitted, so once that happens, we should be able to, finish this up.
Permit has been applied for?
Yes.
City aware of that?
All of it's applied for.
Yes, we can accept the extension.
Thank you.
Question.
For the 112
yes.
days.
So you're saying they can do it within 56 days, and she wants 112 days.
She just
Yes.
needs to get the permit, if she's applied for the permit.
It's it's a long history. They are applying for the exceptions to the code, and it's a
I
long
see.
time since they apply, and they're in the process. But really, the case already have more than 1 year extension.
And that is not our fault.
How long
We
is
had
it
to wait.
If the case is for the next Messi hearing, it will be in May, they will have
Okay.
56 days extension, in other words.
So that would take them into this hearing that they need to go to before they can get permission?
Again, sorry?
How long before they might be able to get this exemption to the code approved?
It's difficult to determine how long it will be, but at least they will have 55 days extension
Okay, wait a
with a
second.
Messi.
And why, did
Okay,
you just
first of
buy
all, we
it?
had to get variances, and the variance hearing kept getting postponed. There was weather, there was issues, so once our variance got approved in January, we've been going full throttle forward. We weren't able to submit the permits until the variances were approved, and they were approved. So now we had to get, they said a soil test, we did that. Now the city came back and said they need us to get the structural inspection. So my husband's in the process of getting a guy to come out and do that, and then that's all we need to do. But everybody's so busy, we're having a hard time getting someone out there. So we're just asking for the 112 days so we can button it up and I don't have to come back here again, and then we can close it out.
How long have you had the property?
I'm sorry?
How long have you had the property?
We bought the property in December 2019.
19, and the violations started going out in 20, I believe it was?
It was COVID time, so it was a nightmare.
Sure, 22.
All right, I have a motion.
Okay, William.
I move for a 56-day extension.
Second.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Aye.
All approved. So you just have a time frame, is what you have, to get things done.
Right.
It doesn't have to be complete.
Okay, so then come back if it's
Stay
not.
in touch with
not?
them and show some process.
Okay,
Progress.
thank
Might
you.
not have to come back.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 2. Senior Inspector Alexander Aboris, property address 2609 Southwest 6th Court, case number BE 22090118. Owner David Bruno, Vivian Sosanovar, homestead exempted. Notice posted at the property on 2/27/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. One moment, please.
¿Ah? Español.
Alejandro, can you help me translate, please? This neighbor would need a translator for Spanish.
problem.
Yes. Will you swear in affirm to translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning. Alexander Aburis, Building Inspector for the city on behalf of Inspector Maddock, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address is read. The property was cited for work without permit, Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, including but not limited to installation of new windows and doors. Case was open on 9/22/2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner November 28th, 2022, with 30 days to come into compliance. Final notice mailed December 29, 2022. As of this morning, permit application was submitted, and it's currently going through the review process. The remainder of the construction documents were records so that they were submitted on the 27th. We're asking for the board to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. A respondent is here.
We have one question. On this one picture, it looks like it's at a condo building.
I can't tell what this violation is about. I mean, there's pictures of a old cyclone fence, there's pictures of some flooring.
Oh, yeah, that
Is
photograph.
this all-inclusive?
No, the photograph that's been marked up, it's, was included there in error, so we'll disregard that one photograph. What we're looking at is a single-family residence. There's before pictures from BCPA and photographs that were taken by the inspector during the initial inspection,
I can't tell.
showing the new windows that been replaced.
Okay, so we're talking about new windows and doors.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay. Mi nombre es David Hernández, soy el dueño de la propiedad. Yo soy el dueño, sí.
He's the property owner. His name David Hernandez.
Does he understand about the windows and doors in the permit?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Can he speak to this gentleman and get going to get the permits done and in place?
Sí.
Applied for.
Sí.
Yes, he will.
All right,
Okay.
I have a motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
I move for a 56-day, is this new business?
It's new business.
New business.
I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by 5/23 or an amount of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
All approved?
Second.
Second? Okay. Terry seconds? All approved?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. It's going through, he's got 56 days to,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector Dorio. Our next case is on page 7, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 3624 Northeast 25th Terrace, owner Frederick A. Clark, case number BE 21090206. Notice posted at the property on 3/7/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 4/26/22 to comply by 6/28/22. one section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. We are requesting to amend the comply by date from 1/31/23 to 3/28/23. The city is requesting, sorry, and there are 3 extensions noticed.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is not in compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Good morning, everybody. Joseph Cruz, I work for the contractor. Yeah, we've got, basically, everybody's approved this permit except for the building. There's a couple more questions that would need to be asked. We hired a structural engineer to respond to them. We submitted the questions last week, so we're hoping to get approval hopefully this week or so. More time if we can get some more time. Appreciate it.
So you've gotten permits?
Yes, sir. There was an issue with the driveway, and there also was a
The
shed,
paver?
but everybody's approved them, except for, I've got a couple more questions that needed to be responded to, and we've submitted, now we're currently waiting for.
So there's three permits, the paver, the fence, and the accessory structure, what is that?
He's got a shed, and he also has he enclosed his, it was like a carport, so, yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of big. That's kind of
Yeah,
big.
there's a lot of stuff that had to be, we had to go through engineering, and there's,
So you're working on a permit
Oh,
for
yeah,
that
yeah.
that
We're
structure?
almost, like I said, we've been approved by everybody except for building. We've got 4 or 5 more questions that I resubmitted last week with DOP engineering. I hired them to take care of the comments.
Would you recommend?
Yeah, the city won't oppose to a 63-day extension.
63?
Yeah.
Board, one second.
63.
One moment before you make your motion. The city's also requesting for the order from January 31st, 2023 to be vacated.
What is that order?
Well, we'll just request for it to be
Okay,
vacated.
so this is not new business, is it? This is regular business?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need a motion.
Okay. I would make a motion. I know, it keeps going on.
I move for a 56-day extension and vacate the order and reimpose.
131-23. Vacate the order.
From here, William, vacate it from here to today's date.
Vacate the order from 131-23. I apologize.
Second.
Is all agreed?
I
Anybody
agree.
opposed? We're all in agreement.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Our next case is a new business case on page 3. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1648 Southwest 28th Terrace. Owner Rodolfo Machado. Case number BE 22080271. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. Mr. Machado, are you here? No? He's not gonna speak. Okay. Well, we're gonna put this case at the end. Okay. Okay, we're not gonna listen to that case right now. Our next case is on page 2. Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 1313 East Las Olas Boulevard. Owner 1313 East Las Olas Boulevard LLC. Case number BE 22110096. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This is a new business case.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. Work without permit was done at this property consisting but not limited to a new outdoor dining area. The property was cited for work without permit under section 105.1 of the Florida Building Code 2020. This case was opened on November 22nd, 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on November 28, 2022. Final notice was mailed on January 3rd, 2023. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 3rd, 2023. We are asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. They already applied for a permit. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning, Andrew Schein with Lockery and Chalkers representing the property owner. We are currently in for permit right now, so just going back and forth in permit comments. I think 56 days is reasonable to have a final.
Okay, a question. So it says for outdoor dining area. Does that mean the pavers, the paved area? Or the?
They actually converted a section of the parking area into something else. It involved probably some paving, some other stuff that, it involved several things that they did there and require a permit.
And
Just
that
for
would-
converting the spaces into something else, they require a permit.
And a permit would be inclusive of all that, the paving or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I have a motion. I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged that we order the property owners to come into compliance by 5/23, or an amount of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
All approved?
Yes.
I agree.
Just to clarify, is the $50 per day after the 56 days?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, just complete it or
Get
get
her
it
done.
started, yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'll be back up in 1 second, so.
I'll read back.
Alejandro, you're up next. Our next case is a new business case on page 3. Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1415 East Los Olas Boulevard. Owner Lucky 14 LLC, case number BE 22110097. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting
Same
case
thing.
as read. Work without permit was done as this property consisting but not limited to a new outdoor dining area. Property was cited for work without permit under section 105.1 of the Florida Building Code 2020. This case was opened on November 22nd, 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on November 28, 2022. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 3rd, 2023. We're asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
You don't have to say anything if you agree.
I do agree
Now
with
you
that.
gotta-
I will add, though, this one might
have to
take a
say
little
your
bit,
name. You
sorry,
have to
Andrew
say
Schein
your
with
name.
Lockery and Chalkers representing the property owner. This one might take a little bit longer than 56 days. We're in the process of hiring an architect now. So if we can have some type of order to reappear and possibly give a status update in 56 days, we'll be well within the process, but possibly not
Just
done.
be in contact with the,
Case will reappear automatically in 56 days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I make a motion. Move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by, is it May 23rd. May 23rd, or a fine of $50 per day per violation. We impose and recorded.
Thank you.
Second.
all agree?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 1. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 2210 Northeast 56th Place, 127.
One.
Case number BE 22110036. Owner Richard L. Dale, or Dial, sorry for the mispronunciation. Notice posted at the property on 2/27/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, on behalf of Inspector Maddock, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for work without permit at Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, including but not limited to unit renovation without obtaining a permit, including 2 bathrooms, new kitchen cabinets, flooring in the entire unit, electrical panel with additional circuits, lighting devices, plumbing vanities, toilets, wall in the shower and tub area, as well as line to refrigerator, dishwasher, and sink. The case was opened November 8, 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner December 2022 with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed January 12, 2023. As of this morning, records show permit record BLD-RALT-23030001 for after the fact condo remodel. Status is currently awaiting client's reply. It is awaiting electrical and flood comments to be addressed. We are asking the board to find violation exists and grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The respondent is here.
Thank you.
Now you have to say your name.
Oh, David Legge.
I want to know who you are.
I'm the certified general contractor. The owner hired me in December. We submitted permits in January. We got the initial review of permit review. In the next 24 hours, I'll submit the corrections, and I suspect we'll have the permits by a week from Saturday.
If you hadn't said thank you, we wouldn't have had to.
Sorry. He did it all.
I have a motion. I move that we fine for the city, and the violation exists as alleged, that we order the property owners to come into compliance by 5/23, or an amount of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
All agree?
Aye.
Nobody opposes?
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 7. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2160 Southwest 16th Court, case number BE 21070288, owner Samara Sue Escobil. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 1/25/22 to comply by 3/22/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are several extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is not in compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Good morning, Tamara Escobar, homeowner. We submitted the corrections to the plan, and we are just waiting for the city to approve our corrections.
Any objections to 56 days, Inspector?
City will oppose to a 56-day extension.
I move for a 56-day extension.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All agree?
Aye.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
One moment.
Please hold. Your call is important.
This concludes all of our respondents, so I would like to move on now to the non-respondent cases. Sorry about that, I needed a minute.
Can we ask a question, please?
Sure.
On this vacate order, which is new, from 1/31/23 to today's date?
Yes,
what
the
does that
reason why
mean?
we're vacating those orders because unfortunately on that date of the
Oh,
hearing.
that's it. I
Yeah, well, in case the rest of you don't know, Michael Matfis his term had ended, had expired.
Right.
So he should not have
So
been,
precluded his.
right, he should not have been on, present that day. And he made motions and he seconded some
I
motions.
understand.
So
So
the ones that he made a motion for a second, we had to vacate those orders.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's new. Thank you, Chris.
Right, right. Yeah, the ones that he just voted on, it really didn't matter because his vote really didn't matter because we had a quorum. Exactly, yes. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have POA, yeah. Okay, so moving on to page 1. Property address 1701 Southeast 12th Court. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, case number BE 22020042. Owner Bruce Palmer, Dejana C. Palmer, homestead exempt. Notice posted at the property on 2/23/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23.
Surprised the contractor didn't.
Good morning. Jose Saragusti, building inspector from the city, presented case number as read. I received an email from this case in April 4, 2022 for a steel canopy. The property was cited for work without permit under Florida Building Code 2020-105.1. The case was opened in April 4, 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner in April 4 also. Final notice was mailed on September 15, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted on the property in February 24, 2023. I have received an email on March 9 from the property owner, and he informed me that he is going to remove the canopy in April, as he is out of the county. City is requesting 56 days extension or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
It's no business. Can't get an extension.
I would just have a quick question. So I'm looking at it, it's the steel canopy that's within question.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Is it in the ground, or is it just on top of the ground, or is it cemented in?
Yes, it's fixed it's attached to the ground.
Would it
But-
pass inspection?
Sorry?
Just curious, would it pass inspection?
No, it's not any inspection. It's work without
But if there
permit.
was a permit, would it pass inspection?
They need, if they open a permit for that one, he need to request inspections, yes.
But it would pass probably from whatever you can see.
It's, the case is for work without permits. It's
Yeah,
not
I know.
any inspection
Okay.
in this structure.
Okay, never mind. Yes, I move that we find for the city and the violations exist as alleged, that we order the property owner to come into compliance by 5/23, or an amount of $50 per day for violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
All agree?
Aye.
Nobody
Thank you.
opposes? Thank you.
Moving on to page 4, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 809 Northeast 16th Ave. Page 3. Sorry. Page 3, property address 1648 Southwest 28th Terrace. Owner, Rodolfo Machado. Case number BE 22080271. Notice posted at the property 3323, posted at City Hall 31423.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the construction of a Florida room, construction of accessory structure, and the canopy in the driveway. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 56 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
They were here earlier, weren't they?
Yes, but since they didn't want to speak, I had to move on to respondents who are speaking.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were coming back or waiting
Yeah.
for somebody.
They already applied for the permits.
They have applied for the
Yes.
permit? Okay. This is new business? No?
Yes.
Yes.
I move that we find for the city and the violations exist as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by 5/23, or an amount of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
All agree?
Aye.
Nobody opposes? Passes.
Our next case is on page 4, property address 809 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC, case number BE 22110088. Notice posted at the property 31023, posted at City Hall 31423.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. That case is complied.
Complied.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Our next case is at the bottom of page 4, property address 821 Northeast 16th Ave, case number BE 22110089, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC. Notice posted at the property 31023, posted at City Hall 31423.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This case is complied.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Good,
was
thank
easy.
you.
No, he's got another one.
Moving on to page 5, property address. All these gonna be compliant?
Yes.
Okay. Property address 825 Northeast 16th Ave, case number BE 22110090. Owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC. Notice posted at the property 31023, posted at City Hall 31423.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This case is complied.
Yes.
Property address 841 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC, case number BE 22110091. Notice posted at the property 31023, posted at City Hall 31423.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This case is also complied.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 6, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1000 Alabama Avenue, owner Marie A. Scott, case number CE 22020987. This case was first heard on 8/23/22 to comply by 11/22/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded. Complied. The city is requesting to amend the comply by date from 1/31/23 to 3/28/23, and also vacate the order from 1/31/23.
I move they, I move that we vacate.
Wait, let me talk.
I apologize.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. That case is complied anyway.
Oh, it's complied?
Yeah.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh.
So we have to still vacate the order?
I move that we vacate the
Yeah,
order.
so it
of one-
doesn't get fines because they comply after that date, so you still
I
have to.
move that we vacate the order of 1/31/23 and reimpose to 3/23, 3/28/23, and vacate.
Second.
The order.
That I do.
Can I get a second? from
Second.
Terry? All agree?
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 7, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2821 Southwest 13th Court, case number BE 21090005, owner Stephen Lazardes, case number, oh, I said that, notice posted at the property 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard 2/22/22 to comply by 4/26/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, complied. There are several extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance, but the permits are ready for pickup
How long has that been?
1 week ago. So I really don't know why he hasn't picked the permits up. So the city is gonna request for a 56-day extension.
It would be wrong not to. I agree. I move for a 56-day extension.
Second.
I have a second from Terry. All agree?
Aye.
Nobody opposes? Next.
Our next case is on page 7, sorry. Did we do 3624?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Property address 6801 Northwest 26th Terrace. Case number CE 22040638, owner Juan Rodolfo Ponce de Leon. Notice posted at the property 3723, posted at City Hall 31423. This case was first heard on 8/23/22 to comply by 11/22/22. One section at $25 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for the case to come back as a Massey.
Have you had any contact at all?
No, and they haven't applied for
No
anything.
efforts? No notes to you of any kind?
Nothing.
Comes back as Massey.
Yeah, for Massey.
Our next case is on page 8 at the top. Senior Inspector Jose Satagusi. This is a hearing to impose fines. Property address 700 Southwest 24th Ave. Owner Mohammed Abdul Martin, Parvin Mayton. Case number BE 22030117. Notice posted at the property 3123, posted at City Hall 31423. This case was first heard 9/27/22 to comply by 11/22/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. City is requesting to impose fines of $6,250, which continues to accrue. And we're also requesting to vacate the order from 1/31/23 and reimposed.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is not comply. Here is some property owner without a valid authorization but 2 days, we never have a contact with them. Today is the first day that we meet, and they apply already for a permit last week. The permit now is in process. I would like the city, it doesn't oppose, or the city approve the 56-day extension and stop the fines.
Did you understand it? Go ahead.
I'll move for a 56-day extension if that's all we need. He doesn't have to say anything if he agrees.
Right?
He don't have any authorization, legal authorization to speak.
So that's what he's okay with?
I agree with the extension, yes.
Okay.
I move for a
The
56
permit is in process already.
I move for a 56-day extension.
And vacate the.
And vacate the order of 13123, reimpose on 32823 and
What are they
vacate.
doing it? If the building is demolished, what are they getting a permit for?
No reimpose? Okay, I just vacate the 131.
Come on, Bill.
It's all new, I did it.
I need a second.
Second.
All agree? Nobody opposes?
Yeah, this stuff is all
Thank
new,
you.
this one, after 4 years, 3 years?
Our last case is on page 9, Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 834 Northwest 10 Terrace, case number BE 2202-0075, owner Rampati Ram and Chandrel Ramsaran, and all others. Notice posted at the property on 3/3/23, posted at City Hall 3/14/23. This case was first heard on 8/23/22 to comply by 11/22/22. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. City is requesting to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. One extension noted.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, updating case as read. They still haven't applied for permits.
And this is the family.
This is the family that was going against each other?
Yes.
Oh,
So what should we do, a
what
Massey?
are you recommending?
Are we
where's this
here, Tasha, are we here to impose or
Yeah, it's a Massey.
it's a Massey?
It's a Massey.
So
Go for Massey.
You've heard nothing?
nothing. After the last hearing, they haven't got it back to me.
They think it's gonna go away if they don't talk about it.
Won't they be surprised? Massey.
It's here to impose. It's a Massey.
It's already a Massey. You have to impose the fines.
Oh.
You either impose or give them time.
The
or-
fines are $27.50?
Yes.
Okay.
This will get them going.
So impose.
I move that
and
we
then-
find the violations were not complied with by the date ordered, and therefore we impose a fine of $2,750
Which
per
continues.
section per violation as stated in the first order,
Second.
And continue to occur.
and continue to accrue. I like
Second.
that word.
I have a second. All agree?
Yes.
Aye.
I agree.
Nobody opposes. Okay.
Thank you.
Chris,
Thank you.
Wait,
Move for
we
the
have
And this concludes the agenda. Now
for the
moving
minutes.
on to
page 10.
page 10. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chris. We would like to have all the cases listed into the record as closed or withdrawn. All the cases that are listed on page 10 into the record as closed or withdrawn.
You just have to say what she says.
What she said.
We have to say that she has.
One of you guys have to say.
I move that.
Move.
What's the order? What's,
Oh, to have all the cases that are listed on page 10 into the record as closed or withdrawn.
and all the records on page 10 included?
Yeah, just enter it into the record. Yeah.
Second.
All agree.
Aye.
We barely made through.
We made it.
We have our minutes from January 31st, 2023.
This one here.
Wait a second, wait,
Uh,
minutes, please.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented for January, what was it?
31st.
January 31st.
And I have a second. All agree?
Aye.
Thank you.
That,
Now moving on to other business. We have to, right now, we do not have a chair for this board. Chris is the vice chair. So we need to,
you need to vote, guys.
we need to vote to have a chair and a new vice chair. Or,
Nominate Chris for chair.
Yeah, second.
And I would nominate Bill for the co-chair.
Vice chair.
He's,
They have some issues with that. I've got a lot of weird dates.
So one of you guys.
I would like to vote for Terry.
Terry, okay.
Okay.
I don't have a pen.
I would want to not show the two of us out there.
You should always have it.
Can I just leave for a second? I just wanted to talk to the inspector about something.
Okay, what,
They're trying to think though.
That house is for sale. It's a word. It's just a thought I had about general overall. That could have worked.
So, do we have a new chairperson? Chris, thank you. Vice chair?
Terry.
Okay, and we all voted?
I'll agree.
All agree, okay. Thank
This was
you.
fun.
Yeah, it was. Any business for the city?
It doesn't mean I.
No, okay. This concludes our
Wait, oh, we
May,
like-
I'm sorry, March.
I like the new.
Oh, yeah, I like those two, much better.
It's still a bit of an issue, but.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you a headset. I don't know. This concludes our March 28th, 2023 Code Enforcement Board hearing. Thank you. Thank you, board, for your time. We appreciate you.